Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to FranTastic InSights, where we provide insights from some of the coolest people in franchising. My name is Alesia Visconti. I am your host today. I am also the president and CEO of FranServe and Franchise Dictionary magazine. Now, FranServe is the largest franchise consulting organization in the world, and our mission is really very simple. We look to change people's lives through franchise ownership, and we do that through a network of incredible franchisors and franchise consultants, all who are dedicated to helping people like you change their lives. So today I'm excited. I have Mark Finnerty from Paul Davis Restoration. And Mark, welcome to our show.
Thanks, I appreciate it. And thanks for including me in that group of the coolest people in franchise.
You know it, of course you're included. So I appreciate that you were able to take some time out of your schedule. I know everybody is rocking and rolling these days. Franchising is very successful right now, hot on fire. So, maybe what we can do is just start off a little bit where, you talk about your brand and what makes your brand unique, your traits, and, your role with the company as well.
Awesome, I appreciate it. So Paul Davis Restoration has been around since 1966. We've been franchising since 1970. We're similar to other brands in our space of insurance restoration in that we help property owners, business and residential, after fires, water damage, mold, all the typical calamities that cause opportunities in our space to do all the cleanup work and the drying. And Paul Davis does a lot of that. But where Paul Davis really differs from many of our competitors in our space, and it's important to know when you're working with a candidate, we're really heavily focused on the reconstruction side of it also. Paul Davis himself was a general contractor, and he got into this space and really helped pioneer insurance restoration back in the 60s by being the general contractor that did the repair work versus the cleanup company that did the extracting water and all that. So we're a little bit different than our competitors in that manner, and that leads to a lot of differences with us. But the key part that is really beneficial for our franchisees is we're the full service solution. We teach a person who comes from all kinds of different industries how to be a general contractor and be a full service solution to the client of the insurance carrier or the property management company that's referring us. So that leads to a lot of referrals through our corporate relationships with insurance carriers. And also property management is a big space for us. Our parent company is actually the country's largest property management company. So we have some insights into that world as well. And it works out really well for our franchisees. So it's a good opportunity. As far as my role, I'm in franchise sales. I sell franchises. Previous to selling franchises, I ran some operations. I worked in Texas in a couple of large markets and operated some pretty good sized franchises. Got involved with the franchisor about right about 10 years ago, and was an operations guy. I was a regional manager and realized that salespeople have more fun than operations people, make more money, put me in. So that's my history, but I'm passionate about Paul Davis. I think it's the best opportunity for somebody that wants to grow a good sized business. And I love talking to the right folks about it. So
I have to tell you, you said, you've been with them a while, and of course the brand's been around for quite some time, but your passion comes through when you're talking about it. I mean, it's as if, you just joined the company, right? And you're all excited. So you have the experience and the passion all combined in one. It comes through very strong, Mark. So that's a great start. Now, since you've been around for a long time as a brand, and since they've been franchising for a long time, what about markets? What's available? Is everything sold out? Could I get something in a good market? Where are you as a company and growth?
Well, that's a challenge in some areas. Developers tend to think about the larger markets as being, the best places, but because we've been around for a while, a lot of the larger DMAs or markets in the country are already taken. Atlanta, New York, those are gone. But we've still got fantastic marketplaces, and some of our best offices are in smaller markets. So, available for us, cities like Buffalo, New York, outskirts of Boston, southern and central New Jersey, the southeast part of Virginia, like Hampton Roads and Virginia Beach, that area, the Triad and the Carolinas. I'm just kind of going around the country clockwise as I think about it. You know, the Triad and Carolinas, like I said, moving down to Alabama, Mobile and Montgomery, Alabama are both open, both terrific market sizes for us. The Mississippi Gulf Coast, New Orleans, Little Rock, Arkansas, outskirts of Chicago are still available for us. And then you get down into Texas. We've got San Antonio available. We've got the south part of Texas, Corpus Christi, Brownsville, McAllen, all that. And then West Texas is pretty available. Tucson, Arizona, Las Vegas. We've got great markets all over the country, pretty much every state still, but they're not, you know, when you're thinking about is Atlanta available or is Houston or Dallas, there's a little bit of space around Dallas that we can still do, but those are a little tougher to find. But we still got fantastic markets. One of our best offices, highest grossing per capita offices is Lincoln, Nebraska, with a population of about 350,000 people total, like drives miles and miles and miles to get to 350,000 people. And he does about $40 a head in that marketplace. So you can have a really significant business in a smaller size market in our space.
Well, sure. And, you know, I have to tell you something, even when you were, you know, going down your list or going around the country, so to speak, right? I was surprised at some of the territories that you were mentioning that were available. So honestly, that sounds great for opportunities for people. And as you said, you know, it's not, it might not be the city or the area that you first think of, but that doesn't mean that it can't be successful in other territories. Absolutely.
Exactly. California is another great market for us. We've got a lot of availability in California, but there's a little bit of a challenge with us in California because of the work that we do in California law. A candidate in California really needs to come from construction, which is different than how we sell it in the rest of the world.
Rest of the country,
So,
yeah. Well, California is always a little bit different with their rules and regulations, right? Always, right? So we're talking about territory, we're talking about the brand. Let's talk a little bit about your franchise owners and what traits do you look for? You know, what makes a good franchisee for Paul Davis Restoration?
And we've got some great ones. And in our last few years, we've really put a focus on finding the kind of people that want to grow businesses. So we're not the man on the truck operation. If your candidate or if the person watching the video thinks about doing the work themselves and physically involved in it, we're probably not the right fit. We're growing businesses. The average Paul Davis does about $4.5 million a year. And that owner is going to be managing teams of people that are getting results. And we're looking for people who have experience and a track record leading and growing teams of people to get to where they want to get to. So, you know, we're looking for people that are well capitalized, net worths in the high six figures, $1 million net worth. The liquidity range around $500,000 is typically what we're looking for, but really it's got to be a culture fit for us. It's got to be somebody that is going to be engaged in the team aspect of the business, but also, you know, we're in the helping business. So it's the people that are drawn to our space are typically people who want to make an impact on the community. But we've got operators from all kinds of backgrounds, engineers, accountants. We actually have a medical doctor that got out of the medical practice and opened a 3-pack in Phoenix, Arizona. Now he's the brother of our Salt Lake City franchise that does about $25 million a year. And I think he was watching his brother's business grow, thinking about his medical practice and decided to give it up and got into Paul Davis. Easy solution for us, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, don't you offer also a veteran discount, right? For those who have served in the military?
Absolutely. We honor the veterans that are with us. We really appreciate the service and their commitment to the country. And also, you know, when you talk about giving back and the community involvement, those guys, that's just wired into them right away. So we give a $10,000 military discount. Our territories, our franchise fee is based on the territory size. So that's a pretty significant discount in many cases for the average size territory. It's be somewhere around 25%.
That's wonderful. And I'm very involved. I'm part of VetFran for the International Franchise Association. I'm very involved in trying to connect veterans with franchise ownership. They make wonderful, wonderful franchisees, as we know, and the community and the family that's the feel for franchising fits very well for that community as well. So I appreciate you doing the discount. And that kind of leads me, when you were talking about giving back, and it kind of leads me to my next segment where we can go a little bit deeper and talk about the concept of franchise strong. Now that's a hashtag that I use probably more than I use my company's hashtags to my own detriment. But I'm a very big believer in, hashtag changing lives, hashtag franchise strong. I really do see and feel that the franchise space is so unique in, we call it the Fran family, and the way that everybody comes together and supports one another. And I'd love to hear what franchise strong means to you and to your, Paul Davis Restoration.
So great question. And I love this because I agree with you. I got into our space. I was an independent restoration company in Northwest Florida. So I was not part of a franchise organization. Some friends of mine opened a franchise in Houston, Texas, and got me involved in franchising. That really opened my eyes to the value of being part of a network. So to me, franchise strong is just the strength of being part of a network of people that are all, wearing the same shirts you are, doing the same thing you are, and have common goals. And everybody, like with Paul Davis, we're a very collaborative organization. Our franchisees work very closely together. Right now there's the hurricane that went through southern part of the United States and then affected the northern part of the United States. So we've got crews from all over the country that have traveled to those areas to help the local franchisees protect the brand and make sure that our brand shows up well in the insurance carrier's eyes. So if you don't think about the value of franchising in terms of just the system of doing the business, part of the value is the network and the people that are doing it along with you. And because of the way Paul himself set the franchise organization up, we are very collaborative. We've got a democratic process. Things don't change in our organization unless all of our franchisees vote and agree to make a change to our operating manual. So that really just creates an atmosphere where it's among the family of franchising. We're very unique, and we're totally dedicated to support. And our 2-year and younger group in 2020 did about an average of $2 million a year. And they did that because of the support that we're giving, but also the support that came from the network to help those people grow. And we do mentorships and all kinds of cool stuff that really helps. And you don't get that as an independent like I was a couple of decades ago.
Yeah, you don't get that always in other industries either. I only came into franchising maybe 7-8 years ago. So I come from other industries, and I've never seen anything like what occurs in the franchise community. And we all use the tagline, be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And I don't think there's a better tagline for franchising, because it really is a community, and part of the training and part of the operation support. And I'm sure, right, you could go into detail a little bit on that with Paul Davis Restoration, right? The type of training that someone gets when they join the organization has got to be involved, correct?
Sure, absolutely. I'm super proud of our launch and training team. The VPs of both launch and training are both close friends of mine. And I love the passion that they have. If you think I'm passionate, talk to Leslie Anderson or Eric Taylor, the VPs of launch and training, about the passion that they have. They just absolutely love getting our franchisees everything that they need to be successful. And our launch relationship starts out pretty much from the time you sign the franchise agreement and continues with like weekly touch points for about a year. And all the way through owners training, which is about an 8-week process, through launching the business and the first field visits, that first week that you're opening, all the way through, okay, now you're hiring the next step. Who are you looking for? And what are you doing to get those A players on your team? it's a really strong process, and I'm super proud of that team. They do a great job.
I love it. It is one of the beauties of franchising, right? That you learn the system and you have the support to carry through to your success. Absolutely.
Stay in the system and it works. There's 320 people around the country that'll prove that to you all day long.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mark. Well said. And I want to thank you today for your FranTastic insights. I know everybody's busy, and audience, I want to thank you for your time. So be sure to subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with our videos. But Mark, I'm going to turn it over to you. Any last words before we wrap up?
I would be happy to talk to anybody that's got interest in, if you're thinking about presenting Paul Davis, give me a call. I'll spend as much time as you need getting you comfortable with the brand before you present us. If you're thinking about the brand for yourself, give me a call and we'll talk about territory. So happy to help.
Sounds like a plan. And again, thank you very much. And I just have to say it, everyone, have a FranTastic day.
Thank you.